The phone screen glows in the dark, casting a cold blue light across my husband's face. His thumb hovers frozen over a photo of me, smiling, hair-tousled, lips parted in a way I haven't looked at him in years. The Tinder profile glares up at us, my name in bold. Lila 32, looking for something new. His eyes, red-rimmed and unblinking, meet mine, and the silence in our bedroom feels like a scream trapped in glass. You said you were done with your past life, he whispers, voice cracking like thin ice. I open my mouth but no words come, only the weight of a truth I thought I'd buried. The night before, we'd sat at the kitchen table, picking at cold pasta, the clink of forks louder than our conversation. David had been quiet lately. His silence is heavy with something I couldn't name. I chalked it up to work stress, the long hours at his accounting firm, the way he'd come home and collapse into the couch without a word. I'd stopped asking what was wrong, afraid of the answer. Instead, I'd filled the gaps with my own routines. Work, yoga, scrolling through my phone late at night, chasing distractions. But that night, as I reached for the wine, his hand caught mine. Lila, he said, voice low. Are we okay? I laughed, too quick, too sharp. Of course we are. The lie tasted like copper. I hadn't meant to sign up for Tinder. It was a late-night impulse months ago after a fight about nothing. Dishes in the sink, maybe, or who forgot to pay the electric bill. I'd been drinking cheap Merlot, the kind that stains your teeth, and the app was just there. A glowing icon promising something I didn't even know I wanted. I told myself it was harmless, a game. I'd swipe, flirt, delete it by morning. But the messages kept coming. Strangers with easy compliments. Men who didn't know the weight of my wedding ring. I'd read them in the bathroom, door locked, heart pounding like I was 16 again. I told myself I wasn't cheating. I wasn't meeting anyone. It was just words. David's face now, though, tells me those words were a blade. He scrolls through my profile, each swipe deliberate, like he's peeling back my skin. You wrote, ready to start over. He says, voice flat. What does that even mean, Lila? I want to scream that it meant nothing, that it was a stupid mistake. A fleeting escape from the monotony of our life, bills, laundry, the same arguments on repeat. But the truth is uglier. I'd been lonely, even with him right there. I'd wanted to feel seen, not just by him, but by someone new, someone who didn't know the worst parts of me. The room smells of his cologne, sharp and cedar heavy, the same scent he's worn since our first date. I remember that night, his nervous laugh, the way he spilled beer on his shirt and blushed. We were 24, reckless with hope, planning a future we thought was bulletproof. Now the air between us is thick with unspoken questions. When did I stop being enough? When did he? I reach for his arm but he pulls away, and the rejection stings like a slap. I found this 2 weeks ago, he says, not looking at me. I kept hoping it wasn't you. That it was some glitch, some cruel joke. He laughs bitter. But it's you. Same smile. Same eyes. 2 weeks. He's known for 2 weeks and I didn't notice. I think of the mornings he made coffee, the nights he kissed my forehead before bed. Was he searching my face for lies? Counting my glances at my phone? I'd been careless, leaving the app unhidden, thinking he'd never check. I'd told myself I was done with my past life. The reckless girl who'd broken hearts, who'd run from commitment. I'd promised David I was all in, that I'd chosen him. But the Tinder profile, that digital ghost of who I used to be, tells a different story. I didn't meet anyone. I say finally, my voice small. I swear, David. It was just stupid. A distraction. He turns and his eyes are a storm, hurt, yes, but also something colder, like betrayal has carved out a piece of him. A distraction, he repeats. You put yourself out there, Lila. You let strangers see you in ways you don't let me anymore. His words cut because they're true. I stopped sharing myself with him. Not the big things but the small ones. My fears, my dreams, the way I cry at sad commercials. Somewhere along the way I built a wall and Tinder was my way of peeking over it. The clock ticks, each second a hammer against my chest. I want to rewind, to delete the app, to erase the moment I thought I could be someone else. But David's already standing, grabbing his coat from the chair. I need to think, he says, and the finality in his voice makes my stomach lurch. David, wait. I start, but he's already at the door, his silhouette sharp against the hallway light. I trusted you, he says, not turning back. I thought you trusted me. The door closes, soft but final, and I'm alone with the glow of my phone, the evidence of my betrayal still open on the screen. I sink onto the bed, the sheets cold against my skin. My mind replays every moment, the late-night swipes, the thrill of new messages, the guilt I'd pushed down like a bitter pill. I told myself it wasn't real, that it didn't count. But it counted to David. Counted enough to break us. I think of the early days when we'd stay up talking until dawn, when his touch felt like home. When did I stop feeling that? When did I start lying to myself? The next morning I find a note on the kitchen counter, his handwriting neat but trembling. I'm staying at my brother's. I need time. I'm filing for divorce. The word divorce is a punch stealing my breath. I'd known he was hurt, but this is permanent, a door slamming shut on 10 years of us. I want to call him, to beg, to explain, but my phone feels like a grenade in my hand. Instead, I sit at the table staring at the note, the ink blurring as tears fall. I'd thought I could keep my secrets small, contained, but they'd grown, spreading like cracks in glass until everything shattered. Hours pass, or maybe days, I lose track. The house is too quiet, the absence of his footsteps deafening. I open Tinder, not to swipe but to delete, to erase the evidence of my failure. But before I do, I read my profile again. Lila, 32, looking for something new. I'd written it in a haze, thinking I could outrun my own heart. Now I see it for what it was, a cry for something I didn't know how to ask David for. I delete the app, but it's too late. The damage is done. I don't know if he'll come back, if he'll forgive me, or if I even deserve it. But as I sit in the ruins of our life, I realize the real betrayal wasn't just the app. It was every moment I chose silence over truth, every time I let fear win. I'd said I was done with my past life, but I'd carried it with me, and now it's cost me everything. The phone lies dark on the table, but the light it casts still burns in my chest, a reminder of the trust one broke and the love I may never get back.